Back to the neighborhood, boys and girls. Our next guest is Krystina Pezzetti. Welcome to the neighborhood,
Thank
Krystina.
you for having me.
Midtown Real Estate. We're going to do a little bit of talk about you. We don't do a lot of stuff like, I sold this many houses, I'm a bronze, platinum agent. We like to tell the story about the person because that's what we feel is attractive to people that want to do business with you. So talk a little bit about Krystina coming out of grade school, high school, into the awesome world of real estate.
All right, so growing up, I had a pretty rough childhood. My grandparents raised me, so it was just kind of the three of us, and then I had to help raise my brother. So growing up, I came from a really tough background, and then going into high school, I was pretty quiet. I got picked on a lot. I was actually really overweight. I was almost 200 pounds. So
wow.
Yeah, I used to get made fun of a lot in school, but I was really quiet. I had really good grades, you know. And then when I hit my senior year, I actually really started getting into liking cars.
Okay.
So I learned how to drive stick. And they were like, oh, wow, this girl is pretty cool. She knows how to drive stick. She drives a nice little Honda hatchback. And, you know, I started to kind of like become myself then. I really found what I really enjoyed through that. So that's really kind of what led me to who I am today.
Okay.
So how I got into like kind of like real estate. So I kind of started off selling solar. That's what really got me into sales.
Okay.
And I was doing door-to-door solar sales, and at the time I did just have my daughter, so it was kind of really tough working those super long hours, going door-to-door outside in the rain, the snow. So it was like I had to make a change. I owned a house, and I ended up renting it out as an investment, thinking it was a great idea. I had no idea what I was doing. So I did that. The guy was in there. COVID hit. So once COVID hit, the guy stopped paying rent. He wouldn't let me go into the property. So once it was time to turn the property around, it needed a ton of work. The guy had he poured stuff down the drains, he poured cement down the drains, and it was a very, very bad experience. But from that, I learned so much. And I ended up meeting my previous boss, which I worked for Society Real Estate, and they kind of taught me everything about real estate, and I started off the process there, and you know, now here I am here now talking with you and sitting here.
Awesome. Where does the grinder mentality come from? Like, most people that are your age get the horrible reputation of being entitled and whiny and everything like that, and you're like the total opposite of that. You're like hardworking, 20-hour days, whatever it's got to be, do what you got to do, make money, earn, whatever. Where does that come from? Is there like a person or a role model or somebody that you followed?
So my grandparents, they did a lot for me growing up.
Okay.
And like I said, I had a hard childhood, so you know, we didn't really have a lot of money, and they still don't. So I work hard every single day to try and, you know, pay off their house and try and get their bills paid. And their health's not good. So I'm trying to grind as hard as I can now. So when, you know, when it's time, they can, you know, at least get to enjoy that. So part of that's my why. I want to take care of my family. You know, I'm the only one in my family that is partially successful. Right. So it kind of all falls back on me, and I don't mind that. You know, family's everything.
That's awesome.
I think family's very important. So,
yeah. How do you, as a female in a male-dominated industry, how do you get your point across and be taken seriously a lot of times? Because it's, you know, a common occurrence to think like, oh, she's just a ditzy blonde kind of thing, or she's. So, how do you get through to people and make them trust you and use you for their business?
Well, I always tell people I'm working for my commission. So I'm going to put as much effort in as I can to earn my commission. The problem is now a lot of people these days, they think that, you know, oh, I'm your realtor. You know, I'll put your house up for sale, I'll put some pictures, and I'll do a few showings and maybe one open house, and that's it. Right. I go all out for my clients. I will go to ends to sit at showings or anything, whatever my client needs, I will sit there and I'll make sure everything's taken care of. You know, I do all my due diligence, I take care of everything, and, you know, I'll show my value, right. You know, and just by sitting and having a conversation with someone, they will see that, you know, I know what I'm talking about and I care about their needs. Yeah. I think what makes me different than all the other real estate agents, or most of them, not all of them, but I think it's just me being myself. In this industry, if you're yourself, I've noticed that a lot of people will start to congregate toward you if you're just yourself and you're caring and you are nice to other people. You know, it's just common respect.
Nice. Nice. And how do you find the business that you get? Like, I'm friends with you on Facebook, and you tend to have a lot of really creative situations and a lot of properties that seem to be different than the norm. So where are you finding that at? And
so, when I switched over to my new brokerage, I really started to do a lot of networking. So when I started doing a lot of networking, I didn't network with just realtors. I networked with lenders. I networked with construction people. I networked with home inspection people and pest control. And from networking with all these different people that are still connected in with our industry, I was able to make new connections and meet more people, which led me to more opportunity.
Okay. Now, are you doing cold calls? Are you still door knocking? Are you doing any of that stuff?
So I do door knocking. I do. For my other side, for my business, because I have my own LLC, which is Cap Investments.
Okay.
And I do the acquisition side on my own and also the dispositions. Okay. So through my company with the door knocking, I'll go knock on doors of the distressed properties, mainly in the neighborhood I grew up in. I started in my neighborhood, so I started off in Lindenwold, door knocking in any distressed properties, and I actually had one under contract. So door knocking, I don't do as much cold calling though. Okay. I probably should do some more, but I mainly just do door knocking, and I get a lot of referrals from other people. Okay.
Now, when you're saying you're door knocking, are you just driving and looking for places? Are you searching data? Are you researching to find online doors to knock at? Or are you just
No. So I do research. I've tried a few different ways to kind of pool my list, but I try in my neighborhood where I grew up, and I know there's a lot of older people. Sure. So I pull a list of all the older people that their houses, and I drive around and their houses look distressed. I'm like, all right, let me try and door knock it. Okay. And since I came from a background with my grandparents that raised me, it made it easier for me to talk to older people, and I'm easier to connect with them. Okay. So I've noticed that that's really worked for me.
Nice. And you work for a smaller, more boutique kind of real estate
Yeah,
agency.
they're newer. They're from like North Jersey. They have a commercial side of their company as well. Okay. But yeah, we're looking to do retail here, and we just opened our new office.
Nice.
Yeah.
What makes you go towards that type of business model as opposed to the big box stores, the big, Keller
Williams? Because they don't care about you.
Yeah?
They don't care about you as much anyway. I just wanted someone who was going to value me and my time. Okay. I interviewed at a lot of places, and I needed to find someone that was going to care about me and know that I have a child, and that, I have to have a certain schedule that accommodates to that. And not every office is going to be like that. And I also wanted someone that was I was able to build up, build something into it and give something. Sure. And not just be another number. I didn't want to be another number in this industry.
Okay. Now, have you had the client or the experience that really made you love the business, or have you had a first time buyer that you were able to get their house, or is there all clients are special, but is there one that really sticks out to you as this is my sweetheart client?
Yeah, so actually a lady I'm working with now, she was one of my harder clients, I will say that. She gave me the runaround for a while. She didn't know if she wanted to rent or buy somewhere. She just bought some property in Costa Rica. Okay. And she had all of these ideas, and I was trying to help her find a place. I'm like, do you want to rent? Do you want to own something? And I finally got her to figure out what she wanted to do, and it took me months working with her. But she's just a great individual. She's just very down to earth. And, all my clients, I love them all. Okay. All in different ways. I love working with people. I love helping people.
Nice. Do you find yourself going more towards buyers or more towards the sellers and the listings? I know you have a tad of investing in your background, some wholesaling and some stuff like that. So does that tend to be where you concentrate on, or are you more looking for first-time buyers and that type of
So right now I'm working with mainly, for the most part, sellers because of how things are working right now for the company. But I would like to work with first-time home buyers because I will say when I bought my first house, I didn't really have a very good experience. I didn't have a good realtor that kind of walked me through the steps. It was kind of like, oh, well, this needs to get signed, that needs to get signed. And it wasn't just, I don't know, I feel like realtors now, they don't get hands-on with their clients, and I feel like that's such an important thing.
Okay. All right, now, we know real estate can be stressful, And we like to talk about the different things that people do. What do you do for your mental health? What do you do to stop you from running people off the road and choking strangers and stuff like that?
Well, I will say that I drive like a psycho, no matter what. So I'm a pretty lead foot. I think all women are, though. I think we all drive a little bit.
You said it, not me.
Yes, I said it.
I was thinking it, but you said it.
Yeah, I do have a lead foot, but I do yoga and I do meditate. And I don't care what anyone says. You will love yoga. It really does help clear your mind and calm you down. I do yoga and I work out, and I spend a lot of time with my family. So that really helps balance the work home life situation. Okay.
What about like self-help podcasts? What kind of training do you do? What kind of stuff for self-improvement?
So I've been working with a few different contractors and builders, and I've been asking them to, because I've had some of these properties that I've gone through and I've taken them with me, and they've pointed things out to me about the properties that maybe I wouldn't have known, or a realtor wouldn't have known. I posted a video the other day about a property that had an oil tank in the basement. And not a lot of people know that if there's and not every case is going to be, this is just in this instance, there is what's called a puffback, and it's from an oil tank the furnace not working correctly. And if you're not like an investor or that knows a lot of that, you won't know that. So I've been doing a lot of videos and trying to get myself up to knowing all the things of the construction if I'm going to be working with more investors.
I love it. All right, now we're going to go. We did past, we do present, now we're going to future. So let's put yourself 2 years into the future, March of 2026. Give us a couple things that's on your vision board, a couple things you're going to check off, things that you're going to accomplish both personally and through business in the next 2 years.
Okay, so within the next 2 years, I see myself, and hopefully with the market and how everything's going, it goes great, but I would like to get my grandparents' house paid off. As I told you, one of my whys is really to take care of my family and make sure we have generational wealth. So to have a decent amount of money put away for my daughter's future, for her college, for housing, maybe even have a house for her to go into, you know, once she's 18, so she has something. And then I'd also like to have my own team and have some agents that work under me.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
And I also want to get my broker's license too. I want to be a broker manager at this office. So that's another, hopefully 2 year goal, maybe even sooner. So we'll see.
All right. Do you have an official office open here in South Jersey?
Yep. We're right off Route 70.
Okay. What town?
In Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill? Yep. Awesome. All right. Now we're going to go with your personal question. So we're going to go music.
Music. Okay.
Right? You can have any band, any performer, anyone that ever did music ever throughout the history come to your house, your neighborhood this weekend and play 2 songs. Give me who the band or performer would be and what 2 songs would you want to hear them play?
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie.
Endless Love.
Endless Love.
And then the Righteous Brothers, and I can't, Unchained Melody.
Unchained Melody. All right. That's awesome. That was pretty quick. That wasn't even like, she didn't have to think.
I did have to think a little bit. I did think about the names of the songs, but that would be my 2 favorite. Or some Frank Sinatra, too. I would love to see Frank live. That'd be great. But yeah, that'd be my music choice.
Awesome. All not what I thought she was going to say. Definitely different answers. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll be right back with the next guest of Mr. Mortgage's Neighborhood.